The vastness of space stretched like a black canvas, punctuated only by distant stars and the soft hum of human engines. A single repair convoy, traveling with the promise of routine maintenance, drifted toward Earth. Its hulls bore the wear of countless missions, but the crews inside carried a quiet pride. They were the lifeblood of human exploration, the unseen hands that kept the fleet alive. As they approached orbital docks, signals flashed across comms, updates, coordinates, schedules, but humanity had other plans. The convoy slowed, scanning the void, and detected something that made the entire crew pause. Beyond the automated repair stations, rising from the darkness, were silhouettes larger than any had seen. Titan-class warships, fully armed and bristling with energy conduits, moved with a deliberate grace. Their presence was not a welcome, it was a statement. The repair crews had come expecting upgrades, refueling, and perhaps a quiet cup of recycled coffee. Instead, they found Earth's pride waiting, a full war fleet prepared not only for defense but for dominance. Massive hulls shimmered with advanced alloys, pulsating with power that could rival small moons. Drones orbited like swarming satellites, and the very engine seemed to hum with purpose, a resonance that spoke of preparation, intelligence, and calculated might. There was no panic. There was only awe. Humanity had anticipated the arrival of the fleet. Knowing that in the galaxy, threats were endless, and respect was earned in fire and strategy. The convoy's communications lit up with orders: dock, resupply, integrate. And yet, beneath the hum of routine, there was a subtle pulse of anticipation. Earth's upgrades were more than technology, they were the embodiment of human ingenuity, of patience, of audacity. As engineers began their work, adjustments were made with surgical precision, energy grids recalibrated, engines tuned beyond their previous limits. The air, or the illusion of air in the silence of space, was thick with intent. Humanity's fleet did not wait for battle to find it. Battle had already been anticipated, accounted for, and prepared against. Every ship, every drone, every conduit was a calculated move in a game the galaxy had only begun to realize it was playing. Outside the viewing ports, the expanse of space shimmered with reflections of armored warships. Distant stars bent their light across the polished hulls, creating a cinematic tableau that whispered an unspoken warning. Earth did not merely repair fleets, it transformed them. Every upgrade was a testament to human resilience, ingenuity, and the quiet arrogance that comes from knowing that, if challenged, humanity could overwhelm any adversary with discipline, strategy, and audacious spirit. And as the convoy slipped into the orbiting docks, there was a moment of stillness. Engineers paused mid-step, crew members leaned on railings, and somewhere in the vast corridors, the soft hiss of life support became a steady heartbeat. Humanity had built these machines, maintained these ships, and now, in the quiet of anticipation, the galaxy was about to witness the first ripple of what would become a tidal wave of defiance. The stars held their breath, and humanity smiled quietly behind its helmets, engines, and warships, ready for a universe that had underestimated it for far too long. The orbiting fleet hummed like a living organism, each ship a limb in a body of calculated power. Engineers moved swiftly along maintenance corridors, recalibrating weapons, reinforcing hulls, and integrating advanced systems that transformed routine repairs into acts of tactical evolution. Drones danced in synchronized arcs around the warships, their sleek forms flickering with energy as they transmitted real-time data across the fleet. Humanity had turned anticipation into preparation, and preparation into art. From the observation decks, the void seemed calm, yet the crew knew better. The galaxy was never silent for long, and the sensors were already whispering warnings of distant disturbances, alien scouts, perhaps, or automated probes, testing the limits of human presence. Every crew member understood, the upgrades they installed were more than maintenance, they were a shield and a weapon. A promise that Earth would not merely survive confrontation but dictate its terms. The Titan-class warships glimmered under the reflected light of distant stars. Energy conduits pulsed with measured rhythm, engines hummed with quiet power, and shields flickered as technicians ran final simulations. The fleet was alive, a network of intellect, intuition, and sheer mechanical might. Humanity's pride was not in the sheer size of its warships, but in the ingenuity that bound them together. predictive algorithms, adaptive shields, synchronized drone swarms, and weapons that could anticipate enemy maneuvers before they happened. In the dark reaches beyond Earth's orbital rings, distant shapes flickered. Alien scouts, sleek and ominous, tested sensors, probed for weakness, and perhaps underestimated what they were observing. They detected routine repairs at first, yet what they could not see was the underlying transformation, the quiet orchestration of a force that would overwhelm even the most seasoned interstellar invader. Humanity's fleet did not merely prepare for war, it choreographed inevitability. Engineers adjusted energy flows, their hands moving with the precision of artisans. Each system upgraded, each conduit reinforced, each drone configured, became part of a larger strategy that extended beyond Earth, beyond orbit, beyond what alien intelligence could yet comprehend. The crew moved as a single organism, instincts intertwined with calculations, intuition fused with experience. The upgrades were more than machinery, they were the embodiment of human foresight, patience, and audacious confidence. As the first alien signals drew near, the fleet's hum shifted subtly. It was no longer simply a network of engines and systems, it was a living warning, a resonant declaration that the humans were ready, and the galaxy would soon learn the cost of underestimating them. Shadows passed across the hulls as reconnaissance vessels approached, scanning, analyzing, probing, yet failing to perceive the depth of preparation behind each polished surface and calibrated energy conduit. The convoy that had once sought only repairs now stood transformed. Titan-class warships bristled with lethal potential, frigates glided between them like graceful predators, and drones weaved invisible webs of control across space. Every moment of human preparation, every quiet adjustment, every cup of recycled coffee had been a step in a dance that no alien fleet could interrupt, and in the vastness beyond, the first hints of movement in distant star lanes suggested that the galaxy had noticed, and perhaps feared, what Earth's children had become. Humanity had arrived not as a whisper, but as a deliberate, measured roar, and nothing in the void would ever mistake them for defenseless or naive again. The engines hummed, the conduits pulsed, and the fleet held itself in quiet anticipation. Outside, the stars bore witness to a species on the verge of demonstrating that intelligence, patience, and moral resolve were weapons no fleet could withstand unprepared. The calm of orbit shattered with subtle ripples. Alien scouts had arrived. Small, sleek, and silent, they skirted the edges of human sensors, testing response times, calculating vulnerabilities. The humans did not panic, instead, every ship and operator reacted with orchestrated precision, their systems already predicting movements, their drones weaving invisible barriers in anticipation. Every pulse of energy, every adjustment of trajectory, was part of a dance older than the fleet itself, a choreography of survival and defiance. Titan-class warships shifted in silent unison, engines humming with deliberate authority. Drones flared, scanning alien hulls, probing weaknesses that the invaders did not know existed. The frigates maneuvered in perfect arcs, creating overlapping fields of control, anticipating every evasive maneuver, every countermeasure. The alien scouts, though advanced, were already caught in patterns they could not recognize, moving through grids designed to ensnare them before conflict had even begun. In the human fleet, there was a quiet pride. Engineers monitored energy flows, pilots calibrated thrusters with near-telepathic precision. And commanders issued commands that were already anticipated by the network of computation and intuition across the fleet. This was not chaos. This was inevitability. Humanity had taken preparation, patience, and foresight and made them weapons more powerful than any laser or missile. The first confrontation came silently. A scout attempted to breach the perimeter, sending pulses designed to disrupt shields and detect internal systems. The humans countered with barely perceptible shifts in gravimetric fields, energy pulses that caused sensors to misalign, and drones that subtly infiltrated the alien vessel's systems. Within moments, the invader faltered, its hull glowing with uncontrolled energy. Engines sputtering, and weapons systems misfiring. The galaxy had not witnessed a display of precision like this. It was devastating in its subtlety. From observation decks, crew members watched the alien ship twist and drift, their calculations confirming every anticipated response. Humanity's fleet did not celebrate, it never needed to. There was no unnecessary aggression, no reckless fire. Every move reinforced the lesson: underestimate humans, and the consequences would be absolute, yet unseen until it was too late. As more scouts approached, the humans escalated with controlled genius. Microdrones infiltrated alien hulls, redirecting energy surges, neutralizing weapons, and subtly nudging ships off course. Frigates flitted between the invaders, projecting interference grids that made navigation a puzzle of shadows and mirrored energy fields. The scouts became trapped in an invisible lattice of human ingenuity. Their technology advanced but predictable, their arrogance turned into vulnerability, and then, from the distant void, the first signals of reinforcements appeared, larger, more threatening vessels moving with speed and intent. The humans did not falter. Titan-class warships adjusted their energy conduits, shields pulsed to full capacity, and drones expanded their grids, preparing not just for scouts but for the might of a full alien fleet. Every system hummed with readiness. Every crew member poised in quiet confidence. The galaxy held its breath as Earth's fleet demonstrated that conflict was not won through size alone, or through aggression, but through foresight, intelligence, and unshakable resolve. Humanity did not merely meet the alien threat, they anticipated it, controlled it, and prepared to shape its outcome with inevitability. In that moment, the stars themselves seemed to reflect the silent truth. No matter the fleet, no matter the weapon, no matter the alien arrogance, humanity's patience, ingenuity, and courage had already carved a path to victory. And the galaxy, for the first time, began to understand that Earth's children were forces that no one would ever underestimate again. The scouts twisted, flared, and dissipated under unseen hands, and the humans held their formation, engines whispering, drones glimmering, the calm before the storm that would announce Earth's arrival as a power no galaxy could ignore. Beyond the edge of the system, the void darkened with approaching shapes. Alien vessels, larger and more menacing than scouts, moved with deliberate intent, their sleek hulls radiating arrogance and energy fields that whispered of centuries of conquest. The Titan-class warships held their positions, engines humming with quiet authority, as humanity's fleet transformed from defensive convoy into a living arsenal of precision, anticipation, and audacious strategy. From the command bridges, officers observed holographic projections of the alien formations. Each ship, each vector, each pulse of energy was mapped, analyzed, and countered before the enemy could execute their maneuvers. Frigates adjusted their positions with fluid elegance, creating overlapping spheres of control. Drones swarmed outward, invisible lines of interference forming barriers the aliens could not perceive. Every element of the human fleet moved as a single organism, guided by intellect, intuition, and unbreakable resolve. The aliens tested the perimeter first, sending volleys of energy and missiles meant to probe weaknesses. Humanity's fleet responded in choreographed silence. Shields expanded, pulses deflected and redirected with surgical precision, and countermeasures, subtle and insidious, began to disrupt enemy targeting. The attacks, meant to intimidate, instead illuminated the depth of human preparation. The alien commanders realized too late. The humans did not react, they anticipated. Titan-class warships adjusted energy conduits, directing immense power into adaptive fields that warped gravity around incoming projectiles. Frigates and drones flitted through the gaps, silently hacking, scanning, and manipulating alien systems. Engines pulsed with rhythm, shields shimmered with coordinated resonance, and the void itself seemed to bend under the orchestrated dominance of Earth's children. What had been a fleet approaching to intimidate was now ensnared in patterns of precision it could neither read nor resist. From observation decks, crew members watched alien dreadnoughts falter under human foresight. Systems overloaded, shields misaligned, and weapons misfired in elegant failure. Humanity's victory was not in brute force, but in intelligence, the ability to predict, counter, and dominate without reckless expenditure. Every move was a lesson, every adjustment a statement. Underestimate humans, and the galaxy would pay. As the alien fleet tried to regroup, the humans struck again with subtlety and devastating effect. Microdrones infiltrated hulls, redirected power flows, and sabotaged weapons systems while remaining unseen. Frigates projected energy grids that trapped ships in invisible lattices. The largest vessels, confident and ancient, twisted helplessly as engines flared uncontrollably, unable to navigate the web of human strategy. The battlefield became a symphony of precision, every ship a note in a composition of inevitable triumph, and yet, even in this orchestration of dominance, humanity did not waste energy on chaos. There was no reckless bombardment, no celebratory destruction. The goal was control, not mere annihilation, intelligence, not arrogance, victory, not spectacle. Humanity had learned long ago that true power was subtle, moral, and absolute in its execution. Across the void, the alien commanders realized their arrogance had blinded them to the fundamental truth: size and history meant nothing against intellect, foresight, and coordinated moral courage. The galaxy's most fearsome fleet faltered, caught in a web woven silently over months of preparation, in a dance choreographed by the patient hands of Earth's finest, and in the midst of it all, Earth's fleet held its formation, engines pulsing softly, drones shimmering like living constellations, and human minds calculating the next move, always 3 steps ahead. The stars bore witness to the quiet, inevitable assertion of power, and the galaxy began to understand that humanity's defiance was not loud or brash, it was meticulous. Intelligent and unstoppable, the first major battle had begun, and humanity's children were already writing the rules. The void shivered as alien dreadnoughts realigned, their once pristine formations now fractured under the quiet genius of human strategy. Titan-class warships glimmered with lethal purpose, energy conduits pulsing in perfect rhythm, engines humming with the promise of unstoppable force. Every frigate, every drone, every weapon system had been calibrated to anticipate every move the invaders could conceive, and then exceed it. Humanity did not merely react, it orchestrated inevitability. Alien fleets unleashed volleys of destructive energy, designed to blind sensors, tear through shields, and crush morale. The humans did not flinch. Adaptive shields bent the energy back, redirecting it into localized fields, neutralizing attacks with elegant precision. Drones streaked through gaps in the void, infiltrating alien systems, feeding corrupted data into the invaders' calculations, twisting their strategies into chaos. Each failure of the alien fleet was silent but absolute, an invisible lesson in underestimating human ingenuity. Command decks hummed with focus. Officers monitored holographic displays as the enemy's maneuvers became predictable patterns. With swift calculation, frigates darted between massive hulls, projecting interference grids that locked alien vessels into precise positions. Titan-class warships adjusted gravimetric fields, subtly pulling enemy ships off course, forcing them into trajectories designed not for destruction, but for containment. Humanity had turned the battlefield into a symphony, where every note struck the invaders' pride and precision alike. The alien commanders panicked, their dreadnoughts twisting in futile attempts to regain cohesion. Systems overloaded under invisible strain, engines flared erratically, and weapons misfired with increasing frequency. The humans did not celebrate. There was no need. The quiet efficiency of victory flowed through the fleet, a restrained yet unstoppable force, demonstrating that true power was not in noise or chaos but in foresight and execution. From the observation decks, crew members watched alien ships falter and drift, their once mighty formations now spiraling under control the humans had never revealed. Each drone that maneuvered, each frigate that projected invisible grids, was a testament to patient genius. Humanity's children had taken a routine repair operation and transformed it into a demonstration of what intelligence, strategy, and moral resolve could achieve in the void of space, and then, the tide shifted. Alien warships attempted a coordinated counterstrike, launching synchronized energy surges meant to overwhelm Titan-class shields. Humanity responded not with brute force but with elegant precision, engines pulsed in synchrony. Adaptive shields bent the waves harmlessly into empty space, and microdrones redirected the energy surges back toward alien hulls, their weapon systems frying under their own overloading circuits. The invaders had come expecting a simple battle, they found themselves entrapped in a complex, lethal choreography. As the battle raged, the stars themselves seemed to bear witness. Energy arcs painted the void with color and light, yet the humans remained calm, calculating, deliberate. No misstep went uncorrected, no weakness remained unfortified. Every ship, every operator, Every drone was a node in an interconnected web of inevitability, and the galaxy trembled as it recognized that Earth's fleet was not merely fighting, it was asserting dominance. Intelligence, and moral purpose with a clarity no alien could resist, and yet, even in the crescendo of conflict, humanity remained measured. Precision, restraint, and strategic foresight ruled every move. The alien fleet writhed, engines flaring, systems collapsing, confidence shattered, not through fear, but through the realization that intellect and preparation outmatched every weapon they had ever deployed. Humanity's victory was complete, not because of firepower, but because the galaxy had underestimated the relentless, patient, and ingenious minds of Earth's children. The void fell silent once more, except for the steady hum of Titan-class engines, the flickering glow of drones, and the quiet heartbeat of humanity asserting itself across the stars. The galaxy had learned its first lesson: never misjudge a species that built warships for survival but wove genius into every conduit, every drone, and every silent calculation. The void hung in heavy silence, punctuated only by the distant shimmer of damaged alien vessels drifting helplessly in the wake of human ingenuity. Titan-class warships moved with quiet authority, their engines humming like the heartbeat of the galaxy itself. Humanity had anticipated every maneuver, every countermeasure, and now the final stage of the confrontation unfolded, the demonstration of absolute control. Alien dreadnoughts, massive and arrogant, had begun to scatter. Systems overloaded, engines flared, and weapons misfired with tragic precision. The humans did not pursue recklessly, instead, they guided the invaders with surgical intent, nudging them into trajectories that would leave them incapacitated without unnecessary destruction. Every move spoke of mastery, of foresight, and of a moral clarity that the galaxy had rarely witnessed: power tempered by intellect, force guided by conscience. From the bridges, officers observed the chaos with a calm born of confidence. Drones extended like shimmering constellations, infiltrating alien hulls, redirecting energy flows, and dismantling weapon systems invisibly. Frigates maneuvered with a dancer's grace, weaving interference grids that forced enemy vessels into positions from which they could not escape. Titan-class warships emitted pulses of gravimetric distortion, subtle yet devastating, pulling entire squadrons off course and rendering centuries of alien tactical training irrelevant. And still, the humans did not boast. The fleet did not roar. Every action was measured, precise, and intentional, a demonstration that intelligence, patience, and preparation were weapons more lethal than any cannon. The alien fleet had approached expecting intimidation. They found themselves dismantled not through firepower alone, but through the quiet, overwhelming might of human intellect and audacious strategy. Engineers monitored energy conduits, recalibrating shields to absorb residual surges, adjusting weapons to anticipate hypothetical threats, and optimizing drones to maintain control over disabled enemy vessels. Every system, every mind, every ship was a node in a lattice of inevitability. The humans had transformed routine upgrades and repairs into a weapon of destiny, and the galaxy could only watch as their brilliance unfolded. From observation decks, crew members felt the weight of history. They had participated in something greater than combat, a demonstration of what humanity could achieve when it combined courage, intelligence, and moral resolve. Alien commanders realized too late that their arrogance had been their downfall. That no fleet, no strategy, no history could prepare them for an opponent that fought with foresight and conscience. As the remaining alien vessels retreated, scattering into the far reaches of the void, humanity's fleet maintained formation, engines humming, drones shimmering, and shields pulsing in silent triumph. The galaxy had been shown, definitively and without question, that Earth's children were forces of unparalleled ingenuity and audacity. The stars seemed to bend in acknowledgement. Silence reigned across the void, broken only by the soft resonance of engines and the quiet, collective heartbeat of a species that had proven itself. No warship could match their intellect. No alien could outmaneuver their foresight, and no threat could diminish the pride, courage, and moral strength that had carried humanity to victory. In that moment, amid the glow of repaired ships and the drifting wreckage of the once proud alien fleet, humanity did not celebrate. There was no need. Their triumph was evident in the stillness, in the hum of engines, in the faint shimmer of drones, and in the unwavering certainty that the galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget, and somewhere deep within the command of the Titan-class flagship, a single thought resonated across the network of minds and machines. The galaxy had finally realized that humans did not merely survive, they dominated through intelligence, foresight, and unyielding defiance. The void fell silent once more. And humanity, calm and unshaken, held the stars in its hands.